Hello, RTube. Today, we're going to be learning about one of the most controversial political philosophies, communism. What it is, and how we can make it work if we try it properly for once. What is communism? Communism is a political ideology that, in a nutshell, looks to remove money and private ownership, and distribute everything among the people. This is not to be confused with socialism, that gives everyone equal share in profit and prosperity. Socialism is what's been attempted before. Communism has not. Socialism is sort of the bridge between capitalism and full-blown communism. In a communist society, everyone works, and everyone is provided for equally. If you're struggling, your fellow man is there to help you out. If you're able to work more, you do. The goal is to take the power away from those who own the means of productions and don't do any work, the bourgeoisie, and place it in the hands of the workers, the proletariat. The thought is that those who own the means of production are the oppressors who get most of the profit from that production, but they don't have to work, and they only profit because they own the facilities or machines, whereas the people who are actually working on the production are paid as little as possible to sustain them. In communism, this is flipped upside down, and the workers are provided the means of production, with the rewards being provided to everyone much more evenly. What does the ideal communist world look like? So in an ideal communist world, the worker, or the proletariat, will take the means of production from those who have the means, the bourgeoisie, and we will have a society where people do what they can and take what they need. In an ideal communist world, we are all one big tribe looking out for one another. No one is greedy and no one takes everything for themselves. The good thing is though, with the current abilities of production, we would be able to create a world where people don't actually have to work that much. And instead of shunning this, we should call it freedom, and give people the freedom to pursue whatever they find fulfilling. This is the communist vision. Karl Marx lays out that when capitalism is overthrown, there's a transitional period where most lands are transferred to the state. There's still an income disparity, but that disparity goes to the government in the form of massive taxes, where it will then be doled out to help reduce income inequality. Credit, communication, and transport will be centralized by the state, which is designed to mean individual enterprises won't have a chance to steer the economy as big banks and big cell phone monopolies do today. Abolition of the right of inheritance means that when you die, you can't pass along everything you own to your kin. This helps to make it so everyone is born with equal chance of opportunity, and it's also healthier to have the wealth be redistributed after someone's death than during their life. There are many forms of communism: Leninism, Maoism, Stalinism, Trotskyism, but they are all variations of Marxism as explained in the Communist Manifesto. In the manifesto, authors Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels try to highlight that in order for communism to be successful, capitalism has to reach its peak. In providing the proletariat the means to centralize, communicate, and traverse fast and effective enough to overthrow the bourgeoisie. Why hasn't this worked? Communism hasn't been attempted in its pure form. Instead, we've only seen attempts at socialism. One of the main reasons communism has failed is because every time it's been attempted, it hasn't been at the peak of capitalism, which is what's required according to Marx. Another reason it's failed in the past is simply corruption. In theory, you take what you need and you do what you can. That's great. But the people who are in charge of distributing what you need are people too. And given power, people are corrupt. In communist societies, the one place of centralization is the government. Leaving the government in charge of controlling everything is always a bad call. There are certain things like fire departments and police forces that shouldn't be for profit, where a fire won't be put out unless it's profitable to the fire departments. But if you're putting your bread production in the hands of the government, what you get is a really inefficient process. This is because most things in government are run on bureaucracy, which doesn't remind anyone of efficiency or effectiveness. So the better game plan is to just leave bread making to the baker, who has an incentive to make it efficient and easy for you, because if he buys bread, he can feed his family. But can communism work if it's done properly? What if we have a society that properly overthrows the bourgeoisie and redistributes the wealth properly, takes away land and titles and money, and we have a world that finally looks like the communist utopia we were promised, where everyone has what they need and they do what work they can? Can this work? It all comes down to human nature. In marketing, there are certain few biological drives that are used to get people to pay attention and need to buy your product. One of those biological drives are to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. We have a biological urge to be better than our neighbors. In communism, the goal is to care about your fellow man. But your biology is built to recognize hierarchies. Your genetics say you need to climb to the top. You need to gather resources so you can take care of your family or have more opportunities to find a mate. Although we like to think of ourselves as advanced creatures, research has shown we're only able to support about 150 relationships, We don't care about the millions of people in our country who we will never speak to or see. Why should you work hard to support someone else? It doesn't sound fair, and it doesn't make sense. Likewise, in the government, you have access to all this money and you're supposed to dole it out evenly. But most of the people you aren't ever going to meet or see. But your family, your friends, they could benefit if they get just a little bit more. We won't ever see communism succeed, because in my opinion, you can't have a political ideology that goes against human nature. If humans are inherently greedy, how can we build a world where greed is harnessed to benefit others? This is just one person's opinion, and it's not an open and shut case. As far as the world has seen, communism and socialism haven't been successful. Although there are many aspects of socialism that help keep capitalism balanced, it's not all just black and white. Now I'd like to hear your opinion in the comments. Do you think that communism can ever work? Let me know. And also make sure to check out some of our other videos for more philosophical or political ideas.